Happening? Welcome. You're here with Brothers Forge Gaming, and what we have right here is Rift Keeper. This is available as a download on the PS4. I believe it's $9.99. I do recommend catching it on a sale though. I'm just gonna go ahead. This is a platinum trophy guide, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna recommend this game to you whatsoever, even if you're going for the platinum trophy guide. Now, however, if you are wanting to go for the platinum on this thing, you need to stick around, and I will give you some time-saving tips here on this thing and some kind of like tips and tricks along the way as well. So we're going to get into that. We're going to break down. I'll show you some of the gameplay, and I'll show you why I don't approve, not even approve. The game is okay, but why I wouldn't recommend the game necessarily, and what makes it kind of it's this indie trap we fall into. It's these Castle Roydian style, platforming, retro inspired games that we fall into that really trap us in here. But what we're going to do first, we're going to go over the trophy list. I'm going to talk to you about some of the different trophies and tell you which ones are the harder ones to get, and then also show you some of the gameplay. So stick around for that if you want. Skip ahead to the end and learn those tips and tricks that I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you about the hardest platinums to get on this one, as well as some of the other things. Okay, so as you can see by various things on the screen here, you've got level 53. I've got some blessings, some curses, some different things like that. Let's see. This will tell you some statistics here. Now that's not entirely accurate due to some save file manipulation. So again, this is going to be one of those ones. You're going to want to have cloud save or USB save. You're going to want save manipulation on this. But like I said, I'm going to build this up. I'm going to tell you how to get it the fastest you can get it in one run and going there. So let's just go over this list real quick. Obviously, now if you look on the PSN site, it's misleading. It says the platinum is 40%, and it's not even anywhere near that high. So I don't know if this is because of I think this is the European one. There isn't a lot of information on this game. So if anybody wants to help out, add some stuff, add some threads, add some links, whatever, to information on this game to be helpful, you can. The very little bit of information on this game that's out there is it's misguided at best, but it's sort of helpful. Okay, so let's take a look at. Now, this was the hardest item to get, the God Slayer. Okay, this was the hardest item to get, and I'll show you a thing in a little bit, but I actually found this item in a chest, okay? So as you can see, signified by its gold lettering or orange lettering, if you've played Warcraft, purple, blue, white, gray, whatever, tiered items. So basically, this is a trophy here equipping an epic. They call them legendary runes in this. A legendary sword. There's several items and stuff. We'll go over that. There's like a scroll. I think it fits here or somewhere. Maybe it was down here. Anyhow, you can't equip all of them at the same time, but there's trophies for equipping each of the legendary items, and we'll go over that. Now, okay, so like I said, the trophy information is misleading, so I don't know where it gets the 40% from. If you look on the actual trophy on the PlayStation, it says 17%. And again, I do not recommend this game to play or to platinum. The platinum on this thing was ridiculous. Like I had to reload and load and whatever my save probably like 100 times it felt like. Not to mention all the extra grinding and things required in this game. But if you're really determined and you want, oh man, how did I get coffee on my screen? If you are really determined and you are dying to get your next platinum, here you go. Okay, so the Archmage, equip a legendary spell rune, and that was kind of what I just showed you there. Now, growing up, harness power from 50 different shrines, and we'll show you those shrines, but as you see those blessings up there, those are the shrines. What I read is that you have to make it to level 50 in this game to get the stuff, so I don't know if level 50 is where the legendary items start to proc, or they're just saying that because that's how far it takes to get the spell books and the runes and the different, or not the runes, sorry, the blessings and the shrines and different things. So maybe that's why they've said level 50 on that. And then again, here's the next one is Mother Keeper. Pray to the Mother Keeper 50 times. So in each level, you're going to get one or two. Sometimes you get two shrines, but you only get one Mother Keeper And I've seen up to 3 of the books in there, and we'll talk about those books in just a little bit. You saw them here, the one of the 69. They're these little bat-looking books. And you can also get gems that drop, these red gems that power you up, but I don't believe that that's part of the platinum. We'll see if there maybe is a little bit of that. Okay, now just getting started. Kill 25 enemies. That's going to be simple. Getting the hang of it. 50 enemies. Massacre 100 enemies. Unstoppable. Kill 500 enemies. Godlike. Kill 1,000 enemies. Now you're going to get that through. You're going to get that just through the grind. You don't have any extra grinding unless somehow you're skipping enemies. You can roll pretty much past every enemy. So realistically, it's not that hard. Now let me go back here. If you are starting out this game, there's a trophy for dying 20 times. I recommend that you die 20 times right away before you even get started. Okay, because what ended up happening is I went back and did it at the end when my guy was really powerful. So once you die, you go back to level 1. And basically it took the enemies, 5 minutes to kill me because I was so powerful. So get your deaths out of the way early. Let's talk about that. Then there's one. Gather 1,000 gold from enemies or chests, just getting by. Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Gather 10,000 gold from enemies or chests. And then Leprechaun is gather 50,000 gold from enemies or chests. Okay, here's the one for Bookworm. Now, don't spend any of your books. This is where you spend your books right here, is with this guy. Okay, you can give him 5. We have 69 right there, like I said. So you give him 5 and he gives you an item. Now, I recommend saving all of your books till the very end, and this is where you're going to manipulate your save file. You're going to load. Make sure you have auto upload turned off. You're going to download your file each time. So you're basically going to buy as many of these as you can, and then you're going to, if you don't get all the items you need, you're going to, quit the game, re-download your save file and manipulate the save file that way. Or if you have like USB storage or anything, you could probably do it that way as well. It's just going to be a little bit more tedious. Now I started doing this with, I think I had like 50, something like that. So it goes fast. Like you go through fast, but you can only also hold, 16 items. So you can do the math there if you want. I think 70 or 75 is the most you'll probably need. But just get to that 100 mark. And that's also for that trophy. One of the harder, more grindy trophies to get. And again, there's a level manipulation. I can show you with that later. Here's one for, librarian, so it's to collect 100. Okay, and then here's some for the bosses. Eliminated, kill Valerine. No room for betrayers, kill Castmore. Godslayer, kill Zales Slain. Now, here's ones for leveling up, getting warmed up. Reach stage 10. So these aren't levels, these are stages. So this is where the game gets tricky. If you die, you go all the way back to level 1. And I'm going to show you an exploit here in just a little bit if you want to use it. If not, don't listen. Again, you can manipulate with a save file, but also there's a way you can do it within the level to save you some time there as well. So reach stage 10, stressed out, reach stage 20, insane, reach stage 30, and maniac, reach stage 33. Now, like I said earlier, there is a bit of question on, do you have to reach level 50 to get the legendary items to start proccing? I believe I got the rune to proc earlier than that, maybe level 30, but I didn't start seeing the weapons till later, so I wasn't also trying to get them. Basically, the Keeper is the only way here that I saw the weapons besides the Godslayer item, which I found in a chest on level 53 where I am now. And that's super random, and I'll show you a way to kind of manipulate that as well, because it gets to a certain point where your gear catches up to how hard the enemies are, and you can't really beat them anymore. So right now I have pretty much the best gear you can buy, minus the legendary items. And the game is starting to get hard again, to where if you're not careful, you'll die and have to start over. So just use level 50 as your goal. Or just think to yourself, I have to get to level 50 for the reasons of the shrines and different things. Now, also, there's been a deliberation on, are these cumulative? Are the deaths cumulative? Are the shrines cumulative? Are the books cumulative? I have seen it to where it doesn't seem like that it is. So keep all this in mind when you're playing, is that you need to do all of this on a single playthrough on one save file. That might not be 100% accurate, but just keep that in mind, because like I said, I've heard that it is cumulative, but I've also seen that it isn't, and had to do things on a save file on a single run, basically. So just keep that in mind. So here's one. This is what I was talking about earlier. Oops, get killed for the first time. Getting used to it, get killed for 5 times. And then I promise, this was the last one, is get killed 20 times. I recommend doing that before you start any of the games. Just get killed 20 times. It'll save you some time. And then, well, that wasn't so hard. Kill your first enemy. Shiny, loot 1 item. Greed, loot 10 items. Loot hoarder, loot 50 items. These are all things you're going to see in chests, and every time you beat a level, you can get a chest or two, and we'll go over that. Finish a dungeon in under 100 seconds. You'll get this. Don't stress about it. I think you can beat the like the first boss is when I got mine. So after the first 9 levels, you beat the first boss and beat the level within 100 seconds. Consumer, spend 1,000 gold on vendors. Compulsive shopper, 10,000 gold on vendors. Extravagant, 50,000 gold on vendors. Again, that all lines up with the other trophies of earning gold, so you'll be good there. Now, smooth run, finish a dungeon without getting hit. That's pretty simple to do on just the first level or whatever level. And then so here's now I'm ready. Equip the legendary God Slayer sword, and I showed you that one already. Destruction awaits. Equip the legendary halberd Skull Crusher. So these are all named, and you'll notice them. They're all in that orange, yellow, whatever gold writing you want to call it. Feel the power. Equip the legendary scroll of the Keeper's Call. Again, these are all items you're going to buy from the Keeper right here. Bullseye. Equip the legendary crossbow. And there has been some deliberation on whether or not you can get all the items from the Keeper. Like I said, I tried over and over and over and over again. I did not get Godslayer from the Keeper. I had to get it from a random chest. And I'm going to kind of show you how to exploit that as we go coming up here. All right, 1 second. Well, now that we've gotten all of that just kind of trophy stuff out of the way, why don't we take a look at these vendors? Like I said, here is an example of a random collectible you can get for turning in your things. So I could equip that if I wanted, or not. It's obviously not very good. So most of the time he gives you garbage. And like I said, don't waste your points on it early, because every time you die, you lose everything anyway. But ultimately, when you go on your run to get to level 50, you can't die anyway. So here's like Hans and Franz. They sell you. See, I thought some of this stuff, because it's like Keeper's High Sword and things, I thought that this was things that were for the trophy. They are not. None of this stuff is for the trophy. Ultimately, you'll end up buying some of it. It'll be useful. More than likely, you're going to find items in the dungeons that'll be better. And then the same thing here. All of this stuff is just junk from the vendors, okay? So they have this tavern. And then we have this funny guy here. He says, we only had chains as weapons. That's your starting weapon as a chain. And again, I'll show you some power-ups you can get here. But anyway, he tells you some funny things as you walk by. I don't know. He's kind of weird. And then this is bugged right here, so you kind of got it. So here's an example of where you can spend your talent points, and then here's where you could permanently increase your chains if you planned on dying a lot. But basically, like I said, once you get to the point where you're going for this platinum, you're going to be powering up your weapons, because you're not going to be dying and needing your chains. You're going to be having good weapons. Gold becomes irrelevant, essentially. So aside from earning it for the trophy and spending it at the vendors, that's basically all you're going to need it for right there. So don't be super worried about the gold unless you're struggling and you're needing to buy those items. But I'm going to show you some tips on how to get past these enemies pretty easily. And by using the level manipulation, you can get items. Your gold doesn't stay, but your items will stay. So you can basically go into a level and get these items and then come back in. So as you can see here, as you go along, the level get harder as the more enemies you kill. Or sorry, the further you get in the game, the harder the enemies get. But here's, this weapon's going to just wreck. So basically, dodge roll. Dodge roll's OP in every game ever, so that's how you're going to, handle most of these enemies. You also have some ranged. If you can see signified over here on the left with that 3, I have like a scroll or a crossbow or whatever, and I can shoot it that way. And then you get 3 and it recharges. So, I mean, effectively all you have to do is dodge roll. This is one of the toughest enemies here, and I usually kill him ranged because he's so fast. And he's powerful. That's like one of the strongest enemies in the game, as you can see there. Now look at that. So we found a collectible. So you can manipulate the game this way. So basically what you do here is you hit, or here I'll show you right now. So we have 65. Okay. Now basically what you can do here is, I'm hurting. I don't know where a life shrine is. I just started the level. I'm worried. Oh my gosh, I might die. Right. So here's the manipulation, and you can do this on the bosses. You can do this in the levels. Boom, right back here, we kept our book. If we would have picked up any items, we would have kept that. Our gold resets, right? But everything else stays. All the items stay. and we're 100% alive. We're full life. We're still at our main level, and we can go back here. So yeah, I mean that's basically the gist of it there. So like I said, with this and the save manipulation, you shouldn't have a hard time doing this. Again, you've got elite enemies. They drop items. Let's see if I can't give you an example of the shrines and stuff that I was talking about, just to wrap that up for you. But yeah, as a playable game, and you see this problem a lot, and it's like a roguelike game, right? So your levels are randomly generated out of. So they should say this. It's randomly generated out of a certain pool of numbers, right? So it can only be so random. And it ends up being practically the same every time because there's only so many basically like preset levels in the game. So you're only going to get so much out of it, which is fine. But as a game, you hate to see this because it's just you're kind of hoping for a little bit more than you're getting. But I mean, it's cool. The character designs are cool. It's got some great music that goes well with the game and kind of like ramps up as you play through the game. These guys are nasty. Just range them out. They were killing me quick. There's just a mage up there. There's nothing, so we're not even going to bother. Then, like I said, get used to the dodge roll because you're going to need it. You're going to want it. You're going to love it. Man, I don't even know if I want to go down here. Okay, so here's an example of a chest. That was basically one of those chests is where I found the Godslayer. Most of the time it's gold. But it just so happened. So again, because I'm on a high level and I want to kind of rinse repeat these levels, I don't want to advance the game anymore because these guys are getting tough. I mean, I got that Godslayer weapon, which is just wrecking shop. But as you can see, they're hitting hard. It's easy to get a cheap death. And I believe if you die and go all the way back to level 1, if you haven't gotten all of your epic weapons yet, you're going to have to get back up to level 50 before those start dropping again. And again, that's kind of the topic for debate. I don't believe you can get those epic weapons on level 1. You have to have at least cleared the game, I want to say, in terms of killing all the bosses. I don't know that 100%, but that's what I'm going with. So keep that in mind when you're going. So right now that we've done this level, we got the chest, we want to rinse, repeat. There may be another chest in here. But maybe we've taken some damage. Maybe we want to cut out and we want to try again. Here would be a time to do that. And again, it's like 100% random. So I'm not sure, what chest it was that dropped it. I've killed a bunch of those elites. They never dropped anything. So, keep all that in mind. We're going to try to go find the statues for you. I need life anyway, so. Anyhow, throughout the level there's a shrine. It's called the Earth Mother Shrine, or whatever the heck it's called. It basically gives you full life, and you can use it once. There's one in each level. Even if you don't need it, make sure to use it just in case for whatever reason you don't go back to it. Just hit it up. Unless you're struggling, you're like, okay, well I'll have to go back to that before the end of the game. All right, this level's a wash, so we're just gonna bounce out. Oh shite. I spilled coffee all over myself. And then again, keep an eye on your range because you want to keep that at 3, especially like right now how I just use those out. Keep it at full so that way you're not struggling with that. There's no other way to reload besides using all the ammo, I believe. Okay. Okay, so there's another book. Those guys you want to use ranged on as well. They actually do some damage. Basically, like I said, all of the levels have the same enemies. You don't start seeing some of the bigger enemies until later. Like these magicians and stuff don't come till later. But practically all of the enemies are the same. And again, you can skip most of this stuff. If you're trying to pass the level, you have to kill 70% of the enemies. There's some gold. I cannot find the shrine to save my life. Let's see if we can find one. And again, you can just abuse the dodge roll. I mean, it's... so here's an example of the shrine. I better go kill this guy before he starts plugging me. Okay, so you can either get a good blessing or a bad blessing. So right now we've been blessed with increased damage. As you can see, I have 17 negatives and 25 positives. So it's roughly 2/3. But I've seen it worse. Like I've had ones where I was like not wanting to get these anymore. And again, I don't know if these are cumulative, but it would suggest that it is because the trophy's for 50 And as you can see on the screen, I only have, what was it? 16 plus 26, whatever that number is, not quite 50. So it must have counted those for my other runs when I was learning the game. So, but then again, the bookworm one you think would have been, but it didn't seem to be. Okay. So I didn't find the other shrine. Let's see if we can find it real quick. So that right there would suggest that it is cumulative, but I wouldn't take any chances. I would make sure that you're getting all of those trophies before you get to the part where you die at the end, and have to start over. I would take 0 chances there, just to be on the safe side. I was gonna play some this morning, and then some Demon Souls, and then, well, I can't find the Earth Mother Shrine. I was gonna play it this morning. I'm still trying to wake up. I was thinking about fighting a boss, or actually, I need to go into this new level, and I just wasn't awake enough yet, so I thought I'd get this one out of the way. But yeah, that's Rift Keeper. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys for your Platinum Trophy Guide. I don't necessarily recommend this game for playing or getting your Platinum, but if for whatever reason you decide that you want to play it, that you feel like you need to get this Platinum, go for it. Use those save manipulation file tricks I talked about, and the exiting out of the main menu the way I talked about. That'll help you and save you a lot of time. But yeah, there it is. Check out all of the rest of our Platinum Trophy guides. Actually, we just completed Astro's Playground, the new game on the PS5. We're going to get a Platinum Trophy guide of that, hopefully up a little bit later today. So keep an eye out for that. They actually patched Shiny, which is a video we did a while back that you couldn't get the Platinum because it was bugged. So they actually fixed that. I was working on getting that again, but it looks like I'm going to have to play through the entire game again, which I don't necessarily want to do to get that last trophy for all the batteries that I need. But anyway, check out our entire Platinum Trophy Guide playlist here on Brothers Forge Gaming on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on the next one.